Hello and good morning. Thank you for joining me again. In my last video we looked at transposition at the octave and we had a look at all four clefs. In this video we're going to be looking at transposition using different intervals. And you may be wondering, well, why do I need to learn about transposition? Why do musicians need transposition? Well, not every instrument plays in the key of C. There are some instruments, for example the clarinet or the trumpet, that play in the key of B flat. What does that mean? Well, it means that if we were to ask our friends who play the clarinet or the trumpet to play a C, then the note that they would play will actually sound as a B flat on the piano or other instruments in the key of C. So we need transposition so that we can write melodies higher or lower for instruments in different keys, so that when they play together they all sound at the same pitch, which makes music sound beautiful. So it's not just the trumpet and the clarinet that play in other keys. We also have the saxophone or the tenor horn, which play in the key of E flat. And we also have the French horn and the cor anglais, which play in the key of F, just to name a few examples for you. So the intervals that you need at grade 5 are the following. We need to transpose using a major second, so that's the equivalent of 2 semitones or 1 whole tone. So this is for instruments in B flat. We need to transpose up and down by a minor third. So for instruments that play in the key of A, so you have some types of cornets which play in the key of A, and you also have the clarinet in A as well. And also you need to learn how to transpose using a perfect fifth, which are for instruments who play in the key of F. So the French horn or the cor anglais, like I mentioned before. But the example that we're going to be looking at today is transposing by a major second. So on the other half of my whiteboard I have written out an extract from Schubert. It's from his octet, the first movement. As if a clarinet we're going to play it. And our job will be to transpose it into concert pitch. So instruments that play in the key of C, such as the piano or the flute or the violin, could play along and make it sound in unison. So the first thing I would do if I were to attempt this exercise would be to draw myself out a piano, because this will make counting out semitones much easier. You can see the pattern. So remembering, for our semitones we would count from C to C sharp, D, D sharp, E, and then the interval between an E and an F is also a semitone, so don't forget that. Right, so we have our melody. So the first thing we need to do is to work out what our new key signature is going to be. So from clarinet and B flat to concert pitch, we are going to be transposing down by a major second, which means that we are transposing down by a tone or 2 semitones. So looking at the key signature here, we have 1 sharp, so that would be G major. So let's find our G on our little keyboard, which is here. And we're going to be transposing down a tone or 2 semitones, 1, 2, which leads us to F. So we know that we have to use the key signature for F major, which hopefully you know is 1 flat, B flat. So let's draw that in there. And we need our time signature as well, of course. So a G, 1 semitone down from G, 1 tone or 2 semitones down from G. Let's count. 1, 2, leads us to an F. So let's draw in our F. And remembering that whichever instrument is going to be playing along with our clarinet also needs all of the performance directions as well. They also need to know that the melody should be played with an accent and at forte. So from then on, we can follow the pattern of the melody. So here we go down a step and back up. So let's copy that across, starting on F, down a semitone, and then back up a semitone. With our performance direction, bar line, and here we can see we have a repeated note. So let's repeat our note as we transpose. So now we come to an accidental. What I would recommend you do as you're transposing would be to simply transpose the whole extract by your major second or whatever interval you're using, and then go back in and check the accidentals once you've got to the end. So for now, we're not going to worry about the sharp, we're just going to take this as an A and transpose it down one tone to a G. And then we can see here that we're carrying on upwards in our stepwise movement. A repeated note again then. And again, we're going to ignore the accidental for now and just transpose the note down by a tone, so from a C to a B. Following the pattern, going up. And now we have a big jump. So we might want to think, oh, G, down 2 semitones. Here's our G. 1, 2, leads us to an F. Ooh, a poorly drawn F. That's better. So now we've done the whole melody, let's go back and think about the accidentals. So here we have an A sharp. So let's find an A sharp on our picture of our keyboard and transpose down by 2 semitones. 1, 2, leads us to a G sharp. So we can just copy the accidental across. For our C sharp, let's head to our C sharp and transpose down by 2 semitones. 1, 2. And if I'd carried on drawing out my keyboard, then we would know that that note would be a B. Now I've already drawn a B, but of course it's a B flat in the key signature. So we've got to think about what accidental we need to raise our flat by a semitone, which of course is going to be a natural. So you can see sometimes we're able to copy accidentals straight out whilst we're transposing, but for other notes we need to be really careful and count our semitones, because we can't just copy the accidental. We have to make sure that we are using the correct number of semitones. So happy practicing at home.